now we're still staying in relatively the same location, but we're going to talk about music of a different kind and a life of a little bit different kind. And I'm lucky to have Troy Donner with me. And Troy is many things. One of them is he's my neighbor, but he's been a musician. He's a welder. And we're going to just talk about some of the history that you've had in your life. And, first of all, let's just start referencing back. You were watching the keyboard up there. It's a pretty nice piece of kit.
Yes, pretty nice instrument there. It's pretty incredible what the man was playing. And I was fortunate enough to get in on some of it. Yeah. And, it was pretty incredible. So I had to make my way down after your guys' interview and stir it up with the old guy a little bit.
Now, of course, you have quite a musical history in your family. Like your father and your family came from a musical tradition. Your dad is a fiddler.
Yeah, he's a fiddle player. Yeah, he's 78 years old now. So he's doing more gigs than I am, actually, about three times a week for sure, back home in my hometown of Merrifield, Saskatchewan. And his brother was a guitar player. We call them guitar slingers where I come from. And so I got to play the drums with them guys as I was growing up and whatnot. And that's where it all started from. And ventured on, came to visit my sister in '87 in Moose Jaw, and been here ever since.
So, of course, this has been your base for since '87, yeah. And you've been, but you've played more than one instrument, and you've made a living across Western Canada.
Yeah, we started in '87 on the drums and whatnot, and I came here and got in with the Andre family there. Dwayne Andre, started playing with him locally, and then made my way to the front center stage, playing stringed instruments, guitar and banjo and singing and harmonica and whatnot, entertaining the people, And and then it evolved into road work, and so almost kind of like this. It started a buzz, and we went. I always say we went playing one time with my friends and myself for 4 years straight. From '91 to the fall of '94. Anyway, so.
Now that band, you have different names of bands you were with. Yeah. That one was called.
That one back then was Kickshaw, and now these days we just use freelance musicians. I just go with Troy Downer and friends, just to.
Then everybody's covered.
Oh yeah, everybody. Hopefully, sometimes I'm playing by myself, but.
How far afield have you played?
Yeah. Well, as far east as basically Thunder Bay and into northern Ontario, more of the northern communities, Red Lake, stuff like that, and Saskatchewan, Manitoba, once again more into the north, and then I did some Calgary, Edmonton, and then out to Vancouver, just some showcase stuff, I guess. But we were doing it all on our own, so we got, as in no agents and management, so we kind of got pushed into the north a little bit, which was a good thing too, because it's good experience up into the territories, Northwest Territories, Yukon Territories. So it was quite an adventure, you might say, and a little bit different than the mainstream, the A circuit as they called it back in the day. So it worked out pretty good, So.
And then you came back, kind of again using Moose Jaw as your base, and said, this is a hard life, and maybe I want to do something that's a little different, and took up welding.
Yeah, well, the welding was always there. My dad was a pressure welder, so he taught me how to weld, and I just would take some time. Took a break and went and put a welding truck together, and now it's go welding, make some money, and then go play music for a while and spend it. So that's basically what's been happening with me. So.
And you've been in Moose Jaw the last couple of weeks. You've had a couple of gigs here.
Yeah, I played at the. I've been playing at Kurgano's restaurant on Sundays, and then for Danny Langlois and Larry Langlois at the Park Hotel, we just recently did a 2-night and a Saturday afternoon jam session there. So. And it went over pretty good, so I think we're going to try to do some more of that and hopefully get all the local musicians around some more and almost bring it back like in the 80s and early 90s, we played Saturday jam sessions, and that was a really big turnout, and the people are missing that, so I think that's what they're trying to bring back into the scene here.
Because music went to electronics and a lot of DJs and not so much live music, but in the last 3 or 4 years, live music has really come back.
Yeah, it certainly has, you know, and there's some musicians that come back to town. Mike Locken is one, and he's bringing the youngsters out more and helping them play, and some up-and-comers that were kind of shy to get going, and he's really helped them, and he's been in town for the last year, come out of Vancouver, and this is his hometown as well, so hats off to him, you know, because he's keeping it alive. And naturally the Andre family, Dwayne and Daryl Andre and their families, young Brandon Andre's a renowned guitar player, plays with Trick Rider and Kelly Berdache, and so, you know, I got to give credit to all those guys. And, you know, we're all a pretty tight community. But
and you're also quite a Renaissance man with things that you have interest in. Of course, you have a big shop back home in Merrifield.
Yeah.
And you have a motorcycle that you want to work on. You found it in a barn?
Yeah. I did a little traveling, and I guess it would be somewhat like the Canadian Picker. Only thing, I stole my younger brother's motorcycle trailer and found an old motorcycle out in the country, you know, and
yeah, it's a 60s Triumph.
Yeah, 69 Triumph 500. Yeah, and naturally we got the Harleys and all that kind of stuff, and we're set up back home pretty good.
And you use artwork as well. Yeah. A bit of a painter.
Well, not really, no.
Well, your apartment got painted. That's
yeah, okay. That I brought in the artist for that. But
there's nice stuff there.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, so. Yeah, but you know, it's first and foremost, it's you know, all about, for me, it's Moose Jaw, and then my music started here basically, and you know what I mean. I have to give a lot of credit to all the people that have helped.
Well, you've had good success, and you have a lot of friends. I mean, you can go anywhere in the music scene, and people will know of you or have played with you or whatever. So that's a nice time nice feeling to have, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. You know, it really is. And but you know, I always stress the fact that you know, it's the people that I play for first and foremost. I have to. My parents are entertainers, so they taught me to put the people first, because you need them to play for, and you know what I mean. It's like that's who we play for. If you didn't have an audience, it feels good to stand up front and center and be able to play for all your friends, and you know, and they feel it too. You know what I mean?
And you play a collection of instruments. You said you started off playing drums a lot in your family band and when you're here, but you're a guitar player and a banjo player and a harmonica player, and you play 5-string banjo.
5-string banjo,
bluegrass.
Yeah. It's the bluegrass. It's it'd be Earl Scruggs type of finger picking bluegrass. It's and that's what my dad wanted to do too. So he steered me in that direction as a young guy, and I know a handful of songs on the banjo, but it certainly picks the people up. It's a different instrument, and it you know, gets them going, you know, gets them on the dance floor. So, and it's a lot of fun too, you know, especially when my dad can come out and play. We get to play together, and it's it's real crowd pleasing and pleasing for us too, you know.
Yeah. So, but you are thinking of maybe consolidating back to Merrifield and get those projects done that you've had on the go for like the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, fortunately I got a little acreage back there, and there's room for a studio that we've been working on. An older gentleman promised me his acreage when I was a young guy, and him and his kids came through. I purchased it off him, you know, and his wood shop that he built his cabinets and whatnot, that's where we're going to make our studio. So, and I'm going to amalgamate back and forth between Moose Jaw and Merrifield. I can't really leave Moose Jaw. I decided that this morning.
That's good.
Yeah. So yeah, but I want to get back home to visit my mom and dad and my other siblings back there, and you know, keep my roots, stay focused on where I come from, you know, and do some playing with music with the folks, and yeah.
So you're going there for Christmas?
Yeah, I'll go there for Christmas. Yeah, and we'll do some playing, usually in the old folks' homes, and go bounce around with wherever my mom and dad are playing. I'll tag along and try to do my part. You know what I mean? And lift some spirits. And
yeah, well, that's great, and I know that people appreciate listening to your music in town here, and for the many years that you've done that. And I just thought it would be a nice opportunity to let people know, that people who didn't see the other side of Troy, just up in the limelight, but also that there's a lot of things going on and a lot of history behind you. So
yeah, well, I appreciate that, Lyle, and you know, we got a great town here, you know, and it's taken right off, and I'm pretty proud to be from here, and I thank all the people for coming around and listening to my music. And like I said, I try to put them first, and you know, it's always a pleasure to play for everybody, and all my friends here too. So
thanks, Troy.
You bet. Thank you.
So that wraps it up here, and we're just going to be going on to other places because the Christmas season is upon us, and we'll be visiting other places in the community in the next coming weeks.